Good morning. It's video time again. November 11th. Just wanted to catch everybody up, getting a lot of phone calls on how the revenue price of cotton ended, how it tracked out. And so got a quick example for you. I think this will help. If you remember, the discovery price of cotton from mid-January to mid-February, looking ahead at December futures, was $1.02. Harvest price, October average, same futures, 81 cents. So we came from $1.02 down to 81. Let's remember that if we have a fall in market, which is what we've got here with cotton, then I'm gonna have to give you more pounds of coverage to bring you back to your dollars of coverage. So here's how you figure it. I've been getting this question a lot. Discovery price was $1.02, so 1.02 divided by 0.81, which is the harvest price of cotton, will give you a 1.259 factor. Okay, so that factor there is important. So how do we use it? If you have enterprise units where all of your cotton farms in that county by practice lumped together, let's just say, for instance, you have 100,000 pounds of guarantee. When you go down that schedule of insurance and you total up all of those farms, total up all of those pounds of coverage to get your enterprise unit guarantee, we're going to say it's 100,000 pounds. 100,000 pounds times 1.259, which was that factor, will give you a new pound coverage of 125,925 pounds. So you went from 100,000 pounds to 125,925 pounds. So you have almost 26,000 more pounds of coverage for your enterprise unit than you started out with. So basically what that means is 100,000 pounds of cotton at $1.02 is worth the same thing as 125,925 pounds of cotton at 81. So if you pick short, right, you had 100,000 pounds starting out, now you got almost 126,000 pounds. Let's just pretend in this example you picked exactly 100,000 pounds of cotton. You wouldn't have had a regular claim because you met your pound guarantee. But in this situation, because the price fell, you'd have a 26,000 pound claim at 81 cents a pound. That's what your check would be. So that's how it works if you're enterprise. If you're farm by farm or optional units of coverage, some of you guys have reverted back to that over the last couple of years. You look at each farm's total pounds of guarantee, multiply it times 1.259. Here's an example. Let's pretend you had a farm with 1 acre of cotton planted on it and it had exactly 500 pounds of coverage. 500 pounds of coverage on that one farm times 1.259. Now you have a 630 pound coverage for that farm. So if you pick exactly a bale, now you're 130 pounds short, 81 cents a pound is what the claim would be. The adjusters know how to do the paperwork. Basically what I'm trying to say is for every 100 pounds of coverage that you had, whether you're farm by farm or enterprise, you've got 26 pounds more coverage than you started with. For every 100, now it's 126. Pretty simple. The adjusters need to figure all that out once you're done ginning. So that brings us to claims. That brings us to adjusters. A lot of new faces, a lot of new names with adjusters you haven't seen. A month or so back, I sent you out names and phone numbers of all the new adjusters, existing adjusters. Listen, there's no way to train an adjuster. You just have to throw him in the fire and let him figure it out on his own. Our normal seasoned adjusters are supervising these guys, but if Caleb or Scott or somebody calls you, Josh calls you, you don't recognize the name, know that somebody's watching over. These guys can put it on paper. They're learning. They'll be the new face of adjusters. All these other guys like me are getting old. And so there'll be a passing of the baton, so to speak. So if you get a new adjuster, if there's any problem, you call me. We'll take care of it. Make sure that you put production on every cotton farm that you have acres on. Look at the schedule of insurance. Make sure you don't miss any. You always need to get production on every farm number. Even if you split some modules or something, make sure there's production on every one. Okay, it makes the claim process go much, much easier, right? So make sure that you've got it broke by farm in practice. Understand there's new adjusters. Before you tell that adjuster, hey, I don't have a cotton claim, let him check it. Don't just withdraw your claim. It happens every year. People leave a lot of money on the table that they didn't realize they picked short. So when that adjuster says, hey, do you have a cotton claim? Here's what you say. I don't know if I do or not. Let's wait till I'm through ginning and you check it for me. That's their job. We want them to do that. We don't want to leave a penny on the table. So don't withdraw a claim until you're through, Gina, until you've calculated this, till they've calculated this. Since we've got 26% more coverage, let's make sure that you didn't pick short. Wind policies. Got something forming out there. Not sure what's going to happen. They say it's coming across mid-Florida. Hopefully it won't be a problem for us. Remember, we have those of you that have hail and wind coverage on cotton, we go till December 1. So if you have any damage, call me. Let me get a claim opened up. Let's count it before you pick it. Let's don't leave any money on the table. HIP. If this thing turns into a Cat 1 storm, remember, we still have HIP coverage. The peanut coverage on HIP is ended. It ended on 11/30. Remember, that's the end of the insurance period for peanuts. Cotton goes to 12/31. So this thing turns into a Cat 1 storm and it comes in, we obviously would be coming in before 12/31. So even though you may already be through picking, remember, HIP in your county or the adjoining county of a Cat 1 storm pays out to the end of the insurance period, even if you're already finished picking. So if that happens, we'll know. I'll get in contact with you, but I've been getting a few questions. One other thing quick, I'm getting a lot of questions for these guys that some of you went back to Stacks. We opted out of ARC and PLC went back into Stacks. Are we going to have a Stacks claim? I have no idea. We haven't finalized any cotton claims at this point, so I don't know how big a cotton claim season we're going to have. I've seen some 4-bale cotton, and I've seen some terrible cotton, so who knows? We won't know until next August, so there's no sense to worry about that yet. We'll just see. We'll know a little bit more in the next 2 months once the adjusters get these claims worked. So call me if you have any questions. 26% more pounds of coverage than you started out with. Divide 1.02 by 0.81. Multiply that times your pounds of coverage on the farm. If you're farm by farm coverage, multiply it times your total pounds of guarantee for your enterprise. Thank you. I'm here. My phone is on 24/7. If you need me night or day, you call me. If you have a problem with an adjuster, problem with a claim, call me. Let's get it worked out. Thank you for all your business. Thank you for letting us handle it. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you.